you're rolling, it just ruins everything for me. So, see, look how everybody got all quiet. Shut the.
So.
Would you shut the front door, Chuck?
Hold on a second. Do you think my pop filter is just gonna do anything? Should I just get rid of it? It's piss me off.
Unless you're making some pop music, probably won't do anything.
Nice.
I came like a wrecking ball.
I didn't mean to break it off.
All right.
So, Dane, you have your beer coming.
Bow, bow, bow,
30 minutes in.
All right, let's go ahead and start this off. Welcome back to Neckjuice.
God, boys, it is sweaty in this motherfucker, is it not?
Why buy a Neckjuice anywhere else?
You ever had a Colombian necktie?
Nope, but I've had a bolo tie.
You know, it gets you high. Higher than I think.
What are you talking about?
A good old Colombian necktie. It's when you go down to Colombia, you hire a small seamstress. She's about 4'5". We're talking Incas here. And they get right up on you. And they insert a little bit of cocaine under every pore. To get that neck juice flowing down.
Oh, and then when your pores open up, it just starts seeping in.
God, it's sweaty.
You're going to Colombia, right?
Here. Huh?
Aren't you going to Colombia?
Yeah, we're going to Colombia.
When?
Boys, we're going to Colombia. Chuck, we're going to Colombia.
No.
Woo!
Half a neck juice in Colombia.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Neckjuice,
Welcome
your
back.
favorite Portland podcast. I have to say, after the first week, we have had a tremendous outpouring of love from fans. I mean, I've barely had any time to spend with my wife because I've been checking emails all week.
Oh my God, the love has been amazing.
Yeah,
People have just been. It just doesn't even make sense.
DMs and everything. I mean, it's just been absolutely unbelievable the support that we've gotten for this.
I think I'm gonna quit my job. This is a lifestyle now.
Can we kind of just start from the top again? I'm hating the way that I'm starting this one.
Well, we can't start it like a show. We gotta
Yeah,
just
yeah.
talk, bro. You know, that's what Tyler was talking about yesterday.
Yeah, I know.
So yeah, we are going to Colombia though. That's gonna be fucking exciting. Hopefully, Chuck doesn't get us killed and murdered drinking too much.
Yeah,
because you know the guy's prone to that.
You gotta watch out for that guy. You give him a couple of beers.
I told Chuck, I was like, if we get into an altercation in Colombia, I will have to leave you, buddy.
Yeah, it's actually not a joke out there.
No, all good. We're gonna have a great time. We're going out there for the buddy's birthday.
You hear that, Chuck? No altercations, all right?
He's turning 45. He's a silver fox now, as you can see with the hair.
Who are you going with? I thought it was just you and Chuck.
So I just joined this Discord. It's called Passport Bros. You ever heard of it? I'm kidding.
What the fuck?
No, we're
It's
just
about
going
to
with a
be
couple homies. Just a couple friends of the pod that these guys wouldn't know, I don't think.
Yeah, a couple of friends of the pod.
A couple friends of the pod.
You know, actually, our numbers, our friends of the pod have been multiplying ever since that first week of our video being out. We've actually had a huge outpouring of love from fans in Europe and Eurasia.
Quite a lot.
Clear through Liechtenstein to Russia, which has been huge numbers.
Still haven't managed to break into that South American market, but we're trying here.
No, yeah, I mean the difference in languages is just unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, isn't your wife's Mexican? Isn't Mexico part of South America? Aren't you supposed to be on that? What's going on here, buddy?
Well, you said Southeast Asia, right?
Southeast Asia.
Oh, I thought you were talking.
Well, I mean, they're about the
Think
same.
you meant
They're
the
about the
global
same
south.
height here, but we're talking different.
We're
people.
talking different folks.
We're talking same height, different people.
Well, yeah, I'm working on that. I got a couple people down there, plugging away, trying to get our numbers up down there. But it's been really nice because something that I'm realizing about American culture and something that I kind of wanted to talk about on the pod is that when it comes to being famous, it gets dark.
Does it get dark?
Those fans can really turn on you.
Oh.
And I was watching.
How so?
Well, I was watching this this new show that came out on Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Swarm. It's roughly based on Beyonce's fan group.
And I heard that's really good. I heard it's written really well and
I think
shot really well.
I think old Donald Glover.
Old Donnie G?
Yeah, Donnie G was on the pen
Donnie
for this
G.
one. And man, it is just unbelievably horrifying, but it's also kind of funny, so it kind of gets you all riled up, and then
Well, that's good.
reel
She's
you back in.
And her thing is that she's just so obsessive over this pop star that she just starts to act manic, right?
Yeah.
Kill people and fucking lock them up in trunks and fucking eat pie. I saw the clip of her just shoveling the pie in her face.
She's got kind of this she's got kind of this serial killer. Spoiler alert. She's got kind of this serial killer twitch where after she murders someone, she like eats a bunch of like hot Cheetos and gets a bunch of fast food and kind of eats around the dead body for a while.
Do you think there's other people that have weird kind of things after they murder people too? Weird kind of tics, like you murder someone and you just go to Arby's and order like 40 roast beef sandwiches.
I think that is the part of the thing with serial killers. You can kind of find them because they often have something that they like to do.
Like a guy, he catches a body and then plays a quick 18 holes.
He goes plays a quick 18. It's always 18.
Yeah, it's always 18. Yeah.
He always makes sure that he's birdie +2 on the last one.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense. So which one of our 28 viewers on YouTube do you think is going to kill us?
Well, we've actually got 23,000, but they're all on WhatsApp watching the live stream.
Yeah.
So
They're all doing.
They're actually all on the Patreon. So subscribe to the
Patreon.
patreon.com/Neckjuice podcast.
But yeah, I mean, I've just been super thankful that we got all these fans in Europe because we don't have to deal with kind of the American psychosis when it comes to the fan.
They understand. They're a little more classy. They get the nuance that goes into such a skilled podcast. That's just a skilled thing that we do here on this podcast.
There's a lot of skill that goes into it that isn't noticed. A lot of people at home think, oh, this is easy. We're just sitting down and talking. But there's a lot that goes into this.
And set things up.
You think about like these celebrities in the United States, a lot of them, I've just been noticing a lot of celebrity breakdowns, like
weak mentality.
Like,
is that what we're talking about?
They're weak. They can't handle the love from the fans and they can't handle the hate either.
Dude, they got to listen to a little more Jordan P.
Yeah, get JP on that playlist.
More JP, a little more Joe Rowe in there.
I like to do? I like to just put on JP, put them in my earbuds, and I just go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And I listen to him for a bit, but then I go to sleep and I just let that get into my subconscious.
And he just kind of talks to you while you sleep and just calls you a sweet, sweet little prince.
Yeah, and he tells you how to be a man, what women respond to.
He said, you're a sweet prince, you're an alpha. You don't have to answer to anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good man, though. That's a good man. He'll take it. So anyway, the swarm, though. So did you think was the ending? Did it have a conclusion that you wanted, or did you feel that you were left hanging?
Well, I felt like the whole show just kind of like was leading up to her getting caught, and she kept murdering people, and then it just kind of like it was kind of a cop-out ending. I'm not going to ruin the ending on the podcast, but it does make me think about all these celebrities that we see having these breakdowns. Like Beyonce said some disparaging things to her fans. I've seen Doja Cat on.
Wait, what did Beyonce say? I never.
She said something
Pull that
about.
up.
Can you pull that up?
Pull that up. What did Beyonce say?
This is all hearsay. This is all stuff I've heard from my wife.
I can't even picture her saying, being rude to the fans. She just seems so, professional. Like she's always got it together and like kind of aware of how things would affect her career.
Yeah, but I think you just get to a certain point
there's
where it just wears you down.
Yeah, you get Selena-'d. You're just so pissed off with these motherfuckers. They
You
won't
just
leave you
get
alone.
sick of it, and you can't live your regular life, and it's like they're treating you like this goddess all the time.
I mean, could be fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Depends
like
how you handle it.
it's
guess,
like
right?
everybody's dream until you have it, and then you realize that you've created your own nightmare.
I guess you have to be ghetto enough of an artist so that motherfuckers just when they walk up to you, they're like, that nigga got a gun on him. Or like the Little Baby video where they walk up on Little Baby like, yo, 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 in the car, and he's just like, you can tell he's holding the gun like, I'll shake your hand.
Yeah.
Get the fuck away from me. You know what I mean? Like,
So it
So you don't
says,
get messed with.
Beyonce during one of her shows said, it's hard to perform so many songs. I'm giving them to y'all. And then they just took that as a little...
Can we get into the Doja Cat thread though?
That's just people.
That's
some
her
little
just
bitch
saying
shit.
like, come
That's some
on,
little
like
bitch shit. Like
that's her saying
yeah.
I can't give you any more. What do you want more from
Yeah.
me? But Doja Cat, I think she watched Swarm. This is what I was thinking because I'm getting all this information from my wife, by the way, because she's out there researching the pop culture stuff. She's keeping me appraised. We're gonna have her on the show actually as a pop culture specialist.
Okay, I like that.
Doja seemed angry.
Culture corner. That's what we'll call
Culture Corner.
Well, get over there.
Yeah, get over there.
Stay in the corner.
Yeah, she can talk to us from across the room.
So Doja Cat says she seemed angry that fans were calling her by her given name, Amala Ratna Zendul. Okay.
Why is she mad about
Saying
that?
to one Kittens, which I think is her fan
Yeah,
base.
everybody said, we want to be called the Kittens with
Yeah.
a Z. And she was like, that's fucking stupid.
She
Yeah.
said, you
Don't-
making my government name your screen name is creepy as fuck, which was reportedly followed by a message to fans to delete their social media accounts if they insist on keeping their accounts or name.
I mean, that is pretty creepy.
There was one thread, though, where somebody's like, all we want to hear is that you love us. And she was like, I'm not going to tell you I love you. Like, if you look up to someone that you don't even know, you're fucking stupid and all this stuff.
Well,
And,
I mean,
and
that's
then like
stupid. That's
500 fans all
Yeah.
responded like, I'm not listening to your new album, boycotted, and like, fuck you and all that stuff. So she kind of shot herself in the foot, and I think it's because she watched Swarm,
Yeah.
and that'll do it.
It's
to
been
you.
happening before Swarm.
Yeah, it's been happening before Swarm. Like we were saying, the Selena thing. Like I'm sure.
I don't-
I'm sure there's
don't-
other like.
Reagan's shooter was trying to impress Jodie Foster. That's why he shot him.
Jodie Foster was the little 14-year-old in the Taxi Driver, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why did they do that? Why did they cast a 13-year-old prostitute in a movie?
Oh,
That's some
But-
white culture that y'all
Ooh.
need to answer for
You
this.
don't like Scorsese?
oh, bud, you don't know that?
I like Scorsese, but that was just questionable.
You don't know the answer to that? Hollywood has been founded and just
In
based rooted in pedophilia. There's just
brutal,
nothing but.
brutal.
I mean,
Yeah.
what's the name of that one girl that went to Studio? I should know her name. She went to Studio 54, 51
Isn't
when
it-
she was like a little girl.
That was like that's fucked. Or are you thinking of Shirley Temple or something? Like,
No, this is
Or little Annie.
The fans
Annie
at
or-
home are
Annie
gonna-
didn't go to studio.
Annie.
She wasn't
the
doing-
fans
she
at
was
home are
having
gonna
to blow
hate
it.
me.
They had Annie in the club like a Chucky doll, just passing her around.
Oh, she gotta be Chucky doll.
I mean, it looks.
Dude, I'm telling you, the fans at home are gonna be bummed with me because I can't remember this one.
God, dude, all the
Get
fans.
fucking
the
used to
fans
it.
are-
What's her name?
Fucking
Fucking look it up.
You haven't given
This
enough.
is
You're
why we hire
you. Give
you.
a wrong studio and then little girl.
Studio 51.
I looked up little girl. Studio 54.
Yeah. One, young girl,
child actress,
New York.
taken advantage of.
She was there with Andy Warhol. She was like
And then
everybody's
probably
sweetheart.
delete your history after you search that.
All the listeners,
FBI's flies
Swarms in.
all the listeners are probably going. It's
right.
this is her name, and
Yeah, they're-
you can't even find it.
Yeah,
Y-
there's
young girl.
There's 50 guys.
Young girl
in Eastern
studio.
Europe right now, just screaming.
They're
his name.
screaming at their
Man.
computers.
And they're so angry with you that you can't
Oh
find
my
it.
God, what's her name?
Fuck is wrong with you, Tyler?
It's like I have a finite brain, and you have the entire
Drew Barrymore.
Drew Barrymore.
Oh well, she was in
You had
ET.
the-
She was in ETs as a young girl.
Drew
so
Barrymore.
She
Drew
was
Barrymore.
accelerated.
No, but she was doing cocaine at 12 years old in Studio 54, like with a bunch of famous people. It was like some weird.
Yeah.
She was very like.
That's gotta be
groomed
like a
to-
kids situation. Like remember that movie Kids, the New York, where there's just like a bunch of kids are all out doing drugs, running around New York. It's got to be a similar thing to that.
No, but this was
know what I mean?
celebrities, because all the celebrities were there, so it's a grooming palace.
Yeah, but if she's 12, it's like she's probably with like
No, she wasn't with
14, 15-year-olds.
No,
who
no,
are
no, no,
young
no.
and-
She
She's
was
the
with
only
full-blown
one. She's
adults.
the only one.
Oh
because
my
because
God,
you're not
okay,
getting
never
into
mind.
Studio
She was-
51.
I'm sorry, Drew Barrymore. You didn't deserve that.
No, she talks about
Aw.
it. She was like addicted to cocaine at a really young like age, very young, 14.
At
I
a-
think younger,
at a juvenile
12.
age. We're
Yeah.
talking about Lil Wayne, Hot Boys era
Yeah.
age.
Yeah,
13.
that type of age.
Yeah. That's terrible.
That's too much for one little pure white girl to go through.
I don't know.
A white girl
devastating.
ingesting more pure white girl.
White girl on white
that-
girls.
That's a paradox
Crazy.
that it doesn't even make sense.
But yeah, I mean, like that's what happens. You know, I think people get to a certain amount of fame and they just like your ego gets
Yeah.
blown up so much, and it's hard to carry around such ego. It becomes a burden, and then it's like cocaine probably makes it effortless because you're like, well, everyone should love me because I'm.
guess you're right, yeah.
I'm the best, and I feel like I remember watching an interview with Kid Cudi where he was talking about how whenever he left the house, he would just get super high on cocaine because he was able to handle it. And that's kind of how I would be feeling, but I'm just so grateful that all our fans are like another continent
and
over.
they don't swarm.
They don't swarm us.
They don't swarm.
And like the the Atlantic Ocean, if you'd like to think of it as like a merciful curtain between us and our fame, you know.
Yeah. It's a blanket of security from
Yeah.
the onslaught of fans and the love and bras that would be thrown on stages.
I get a lot of virtual bras on Facebook sent my way.
Here you go.
Yeah.
They're like one gift, one bra.
Yeah, one bra sent my way.
I was getting a lot of gifts,
Thank
a lot of
you.
bras gifted on Fortnite. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Skins.
It's a lot of skins.
a lot of Slavic,
Shorty's giving me skins.
a lot of Slavic skins
Yeah, a
on
lot of
Fortnite.
Slavic skin. That's crazy. That sounds like a Ukrainian ghillie suit. Sounds like something you snipe a Russian in. I mean, you know. Speaking of giving things to people, we hear about. Speaking of giving things, I'm just saying. Hear about what we were talking about. Phil Knight. Phil Knight giving his $400 million to the black community.
Gave 400 mil to the black community.
But it was in an investment fund. That's what we were doing a little research. We found out it's in an investment fund or something.
Yeah, I mean, he said.
Well, what did you think it was? Just
Well,
a couple checks?
No, but I would think it'd be okay. This much is allocated towards infrastructure in the community. This is going to bring back, this will bring back this many people that are displaced to give them affordable housing in this area, or like we'll open these businesses to give these people jobs and only hire this amount. You know what I mean? These people like.
It's hard for something like that to happen and not just feel like it's a little bit shady. Just no. I mean, it's a good thing that he's doing, but I feel like when really rich people do this, they do it because they want this. They want to be kind of looked at as like they're like this god. When really, if they just got taxed, like everyone else should get taxed, and the government had any sort of a responsible bone in their body, they would take care of their people. But instead, we all in America have to beg these super rich people to be like, oh, give money to us, money to us. Where it's like really, they should already be being taxed. I mean, 400 million is probably a drop in the bucket for him, for all the black models that he's using in every single one of his photo shoots. It's just kind of like
all the black models that have gotten him.
It's about
hella
time.
money. That's true. I just want to know what's happening with it and what's the incentive though, because it almost feels like it just feels like a tax write-off. It's like what is this going to offset that somehow is in the right tax code that offsets some bullshit out of in a foreign account or something where he pays fucking 20 cents less for the labor in China now or some shit. You know what I mean? Like,
there's something
like where we gotta we should follow up on that probably on another pod. But
reading like some article.
Yeah,
where
we should have him on.
We should have a running count of how much money Phil's spending.
And he spends a lot of money on very conservative like candidates running for offices and stuff like that. And now he's kind of like, I don't know if he got kind of a bad rap for that. And he's like, well, let's go ahead and give 400 million to the black community. It's not kind of a drop in the bucket for us, but I know he's going to give it to a couple of different funds. What was it, the 1804 fund?
It's the 1804 fund, which is like I think it's like a fund managed by this lady named, I think her name's Rakaya Adams, and she's like a long-standing community member, Portland. So that's actually good. She, I didn't know who she was.
It's so much money.
It is a lot of money. It's
They've
such
never
an
seen
amount
that
of
much money before.
It's like, what do you even do with 400 million?
Yeah,
like,
where do you start?
3 new Nike outlets all along MLK. One every 5 blocks.
Yo, they just build
so many
Popeyes every other building.
Popeyes outlets.
Just Popeye liquor store, Popeye
Yo.
liquor store, corner store, Popeye 7-Eleven.
They just put in hella fucking designer.
Yeah, and
designer.
then they put a couple.
They bring a Saks Fifth to Alberta. It's 15th. Like, yo, this is what y'all niggas wanted.
Well, then you're giving money to a neighborhood that's
gentrified.
It's like it's not the same that.
That's the whole point.
So what are they?
It's like what does that look like? That reinjection of wealth.
You're gonna ungentrify?
How do you?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
you can't undo that. So many families have already left.
So many beautiful families.
Well, it's like so many
beautiful families have already left.
So many.
And now there's some amazing families living in Alberta right now that. Where are they going to go?
Some light families.
Are we going to displace them?
Lighter complexion families.
Reverse
but,
gentrification.
I mean, it's one of those
Where
things.
Where do we send them?
It's one of those things where you like can't. It's like, okay, it's not a bad thing that he did it, but I think everybody we don't really trust.
No.
It's like, I'll believe it when I see something actually happen. Because all the politicians are going, this is groundbreaking. This is everything. And it's like, cool, but when we're going to actually see something happen, are they going to actually be able to undo what's already been done? You can't undo gentrification. Like, how do you undo that?
No, you can't. I mean, them fixing, them making 20 more basketball courts in this city is not going to reverse
put
the
in some
gentrification.
shitty basketball courts.
They're just going to put in
some
30
dives.
more basketball courts.
Shit dive bars.
And be like, we did this for the black people.
And then you're going to go hunt down families that have moved out in the Gresham or Southeast Greater area and be like, we understand that you actually used to live in this neighborhood.
Right.
Let me destroy this condo and rebuild your house. It's like there's no undoing what's been done.
No, definitely not.
The community's already been dispersed from that area, and now you're going to it's probably going to go, honestly, to maybe more infrastructure and more building up that area.
Yeah, I
mean,
mean,
some murals, maybe changing a couple street names.
Yeah.
RFK Ave.
We got RFK Boulevard. They changed Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard to RFK Jr. Boulevard. That's crazy.
That would
we make a Joe Biden Plaza.
Yeah, he's right up Phil's alley.
Byron Plaza.
Let's go Brandon Plaza. That's what we call Clackamas Town Center.
LGB. Let's go, Brandon.
LGBTQ. But anyway, we had a couple weird things happen. People keep dying, man. What's up with that, bro? Are we getting fucking old and everyone's just dying?
Yeah, we had a couple of huge deaths this week.
We got a couple of huge deaths.
Mr. Pee Wee Herman hit the dust.
That boy Angus. Your boy
Agnes.
His boy Agnes.
Boy Angus Cloud.
R.P. Agnes Cloud, man. R.P.
Angus.
Big Herm.
Is it Agnes?
No, it's Angus.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, R.P. Angus Cloud. R.P. Pee Wee Herman. Pee Wee Herman actually wasn't a pedophile, so I'm tired of all
that's
motherfuckers saying all that about him.
That was something that I found out.
Yeah.
One of my bosses at work, she's a big fan of Pee Wee Herman, and she set the record straight for me because I was going, wasn't he into kids? And she said that was a common misconception.
This man, no, for the 100th time, I told you he's not.
This man was at a feature porn film, right?
A feature, okay.
And he was,
Wait, he was in a feature.
He was at one.
He was at one. He was a spectator.
He was a spectator, and it's like, okay, imagine
he's a fluffer.
You're with a bunch of people in a movie theater watching porn,
You're with all the homies.
You're with the homies that watch porn. You can expect what's going to happen, all right? Whether you're decent enough to go into the gentleman's room or just the bathroom.
I mean, everyone in there is slow stroking, no matter what.
Yeah.
They're at least getting they're petting the dog slowly.
Yeah.
They're petting the lap dog slowly.
They're rubbing the cat the right way.
Yeah.
But how many names are Pee Wee?
That wasn't his name. Wasn't his name Paul Rubens, right?
No, but people know him as Pee Wee Herman.
So his name is
Penis
Herman.
Yeah, so you go into a theater and then Pee Wee's the one jerking off.
Yeah. Where does Pee Wee?
And it's different than just Rob.
Where does Pee Wee? How is Pee Wee synonymous to penis?
Yeah, why don't you elaborate for our fans in Europe?
It's just a bad look. Bad luck. Pee Wee, kind of childlike.
How is Pee Wee? Pee Wee
just
football.
childlike activity.
No, yeah, he was. Yeah, he definitely was a little weird.
But that just means little, right?
That's true.
No, I know, but
also,
look at the full.
Also, your Herman sounds like your dick too. You're like, God, hit me right in the Herman.
In the Herman?
Yeah.
You're talking about the hymen?
I guess that's
the Herman.
I guess that's what I was thinking.
Herman.
The Herman.
Popped my Herman last night. That's that's when you're going through the back door, Gondor's Tavern. That's what we call it.
That's when your
Herman popped.
That's when you're going through the speakeasy. That's when you don't want anyone to know you're drinking. Yeah. Well, yeah. Anyway, I wonder. So he had a thing with cancer, right? He didn't
Yeah.
They didn't find him beaten off and
no, but he was exposing himself in the most reasonable place to expose yourself.
That is true.
To be fair, and then he collected vintage porn, as my boss was telling me, and that that was something that he liked.
So they did him real greasy.
And just because,
in your bedroom, though?
well,
Yeah, but we're talking about pre-cell phone here,
Yeah.
buddy.
We're talking
You
about-
might have been caught wanking your
That could've
fucking
been-
with
that
your
probably
pickle in a
would've been
fucking
fucking-
theater of a pre-cell phone,
Yeah.
buddy. Talking pre-internet.
That would have been you. It could have been, would have been. And
Yeah, but his name's Chuck. So it's like, okay.
True.
It's not
Chewy.
Pee-wee.
You hear Chuck was doing it. You're like, probably.
Yeah, that's
I
fine.
can see it.
but if
Like,
Chuck E.
I named
Cheese?
Chuck-
But
like,
for
I named
some
Pee-wee,
reason-
you're like, hold on, he does what? And he works with my kids.
But
Yeah.
here's where things get interesting. Is it okay to be a sexual person
And work with children.
And work with children? Do you have to be completely asexual
Nope.
to work with children?
Yes, you must.
Ooh, no.
No, yes, you
Or
must.
can you have a love of vintage porn, but does the line blur?
We
And
know
as a
we
country
know
that's
one.
obsessed with pedophilia,
Yeah, but we know one high class of people who are asexual and work with children,
who's that?
So,
and they've
you talk about
gotten in trouble for it.
They've gotten in trouble for being asexual. Do they want them to be more?
Yeah, you're gonna have to elaborate here.
Priests.
Oh,
That's a good point.
So
Now we get
you
into
deprive, they find a way in.
I was thinking you were gonna say Nickelodeon producers.
Oh,
Priests
probably.
is
I mean-
good too.
Can I get an extra load of slime on that for me, please? Come on.
So before you, just be careful what you ask for, Aiden.
Can I get an
No,
extra
that's
drop
wrong.
in of slime on that
Yeah.
child tonight?
Yeah, God, that's just a little bit more of the green stuff. Let me get a lick of the green stuff.
God, I think there's been a lot of kind of oversteppings in Nickelodeon where like something kind of like
Oh, for
squirts
sure.
on a kid's face or something like that. It's
Oh, for
always just
sure.
like, all right.
For sure.
Sorry, guys, I got to give myself a little bit of insulin here.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that you can get on your phone. This is actually a
This guy is
survival thing.
The only podcast, Portland, the only podcast where we shoot up on the podcast.
Oh, it's dropping in now.
There you go. That sweet. Let that sweet insulin run through you.
Oh.
God, makes you want to just have a Capri Sun, doesn't it?
That feels good when it hits. I'm telling you, it's fat soluble too. I don't even have to look for veins or anything. I just put that shit in and let it get on a slow drip.
Speaking of that, New York Times just wrote a fucking article about us.
About the fentanyl in Portland.
About our Fenty Wap situation. 1738.
Fenty Wap.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby. Free Fetty Wap though. Actually, he never did nothing wrong. He just sold a little bit of himself to people.
Yeah, he sure did. He gave him a special little piece.
He
of
just
his
sold a
heart.
little bit of himself to people now. Fenty
Man,
Wap.
yeah, man. I've been seeing that fentanyl fall, that back-breaking fold. The fentanyl
The
fold.
backbreakers. That's what we call them.
I just saw one coming into the studio today. She was just bent, closed like a book, standing on 2 feet. I
Yeah.
mean, it was just it. And as she was swaying back and forth, I literally saw I was far away, but it looked like a needle dropped out of her hand. It could have been
yeah.
a pen, but it was cylindrically shaped.
See, you gotta watch out for them because they start getting in that sway radius, and the fucking, the wind starts blowing them a little bit, and you might get clipped with one of those stray needles flying out. So you gotta keep your distance.
Yeah, especially.
A little fent.
Wait, but you don't shoot fentanyl. You definitely smoke it, don't you?
Yeah, I don't know what was in her hand. I was
Yeah.
like, I'm thinking I was just judging. Like, is that a needle?
Have they stepped it up? Are people shooting fentanyl now?
Is that stepping up?
Do they put
I think so. I think that's a little more gnarly. If you go from smoking heroin to shooting heroin, I think it's a little more intense, right?
That's true. Yeah.
Do they put fent in H?
I think they do. I think that was the cut.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm telling you, this fentanyl fold is becoming. I just saw it and I felt like I was in a science fiction book. I was looking around and I'm like, what has the world come to where you walk down the street and somebody's just folded over on themselves and they're just like swaying in the breeze, and there's 3 of them and they're all standing around a cart and like nobody's home.
You know what they look like? You remember those swinging monkey? You get monkeys in a barrel.
Oh yeah,
And their arms
you
are
put
all
their
like
arms
this?
around. You got all 3 of them around.
You can kind of just link them up together and just start swinging them around. They don't weigh anything anyway.
What do you guys actually feel when you walk by that?
I feel like.
Oh God, you don't want me to say what I actually feel, Jesus.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I actually had that thought today.
Because
I
it's
was
sad. I don't feel at this point anything.
I do.
I
I
do.
do feel something. I feel like. Well, sometimes when I think about it more, I'm like, I imagine like this person had a whole childhood and a family, and now they're like there's no one home in this moment.
Yeah.
It's probably a lot better when no one's home.
Well, there's no one home up there anyway, really.
That's what I mean. There's just nothing going on, and they're just swaying around, standing around on a random block in Portland. They're almost.
There's another tree.
Yeah, they could be like one of those AI automated. It could be an automated robot. Just
Another sycamore. Another Doug fir.
Just another sycamore.
Just another sycamore. And I'm sick of it. I'm sick
I'm
of
sick
it.
of it.
I'll tell you.
I knew you were trying to make some stupid joke out of that one.
Another sycamore, and I'm sick of it. No, you know what? I might get thrown for his opinion. I don't give a fuck about those motherfuckers anymore, bro. I really similar to what you were saying, but to the point where I'm like, get the fuck out of my way. Like,
But dude, Aidan, come on, they're white.
yeah, even that's why I hate them even more.
Well, it's not like
I've never given money to a homeless white person. I've always been like, yeah, this was your fault.
I mean, it's like they just don't give a fuck. It's just you see it so much
Yeah.
that it's hard to have any to see on your way to work 40 times.
Yeah.
Feeling really.
I used to be empathetic
really-
too.
That's what they call in the. Sorry, you don't get to speak.
I know.
Unless spoken to.
Unless spoken to. You didn't like that one bit. I was. Fuck! I forgot what I was gonna say. Go ahead.
That's what they call.
Yeah, chime in. What were you saying?
I was just saying, it kind of affects your mental health a little bit, just seeing a bunch of stuff around you.
Right.
Oh, that's what they call empathy fatigue in the social work world.
Oh yeah.
Where you just
God.
you just reach a point where you just can't anymore.
Yeah.
And then you end up like this. There's this older gentleman that works at the gallery next door to one of the galleries I work at, and he was just like, we came in one day and he's like, you guys got those Narcan pens that bring back people back when they're overdosing?
He's like, I got someone down around the corner.
And we were all like, yeah, we do. And he goes, well, don't use it. And then he just turned around and just waddled on out. And I was like, oh man.
Well,
He's
don't
done.
use it?
Yeah.
He was
like, let him die.
Oh,
I'm done.
This wasn't a homeless guy. This was just a guy. Okay, I see.
He works next door, and he's
I
so goddamn sick of it
Yeah.
that he was like, just fucking let him die.
Yeah.
What are you bringing him back for?
Yeah, he's like, he's like, it's The Walking Dead.
Dude,
He's
did
like-
you hear that the city? Sorry to interrupt
Yeah,
you,
no,
but did
go
you
ahead.
hear that the city of Portland was actually offering to hand out aluminum foil and straws?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
And they were describing it as preventative care.
Yeah.
It's like I can understand the needles, but if you're just
I mean, I think you handing out anything that's not Soma strips or like Narcan shit, you know what I mean, or like
the needles
testing.
though, like reusing that, you're gonna get really bad infections. It's
I
gonna
mean, I
be
guess, yeah.
but like
I
just
guess.
giving them stuff to freebase with, just so like that they don't rob a store or something. I just don't know what it.
Yeah.
There's no end and no clear solution to any of this, but
Well,
that just
also,
seems unbelievable.
The people who are making these decisions for Portland don't live anywhere near the areas that are affected by it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's whoever the fuck. I swear, city council. This Portland city council must be a fucking like mafia style fucking regime, bro.
Well, I
don't
think
know what's
we
going
all.
on there.
I think we all know where they live too.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're just
No, hey,
family friends of his.
Well, city
Close
council.
family friends.
Most of the city council wants to be harsher on it.
Do they?
But
How
it's
do you know that? Close
Just
family
because
friend
that's their.
tell you?
Fuck you. Because they've been harder on it, and then you get people who come to the city council meetings who trash on them for not being more
doing
empathetic.
preventative care.
Yeah.
Well,
So if they had their way, they would fucking.
Yeah, but
they would just,
those empathetic people, they probably live in like a nice part of Portland too, and they have to go 20 blocks to see homeless, and they're still like, it's not that bad.
I mean, the poor Laurelhurst neighborhood, they pay so much money for their houses, and they just can't get away from it.
You know?
I mean, there's tents on every block.
I can't even walk down and play pickleball anymore. Just literally, I went down that street and so one time I worked this PA job, and at the end of the week we had a bunch of leftover food and waters and shit, and the producer was like, yo, can you, I don't know, just do something with this. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna go give it to some homeless people, I guess, because I was still empathetic at that point. I wasn't to my peak, so
You hadn't
I'm like,
reached
okay,
your villain area.
I hadn't hit my villain area yet. No, the origin story hadn't started yet. So I go to that street in the middle of Laurelhurst. That's the one that was occupied by all
in
the
between
homeless.
the block, in between
between-
the park.
In between the two parks, where
Yeah.
and there are houses on that street.
A little further down, yeah.
Further down, but for the first part, it's just block, or it's just
Park on either side.
Park on either side, exactly. And I gave them a shitload of food, like, probably like hundreds of sandwiches, so many like waters and fruit and like a bunch of stuff that we had from the shoot. And these motherfuckers were so ungrateful.
Yeah, and then they're like, "Oh, you got an extra 20 with that?"
I literally pulled out a cooler and shit, and they were looking through it, and I was like, I already pulled this out. I'm not gonna put it back in my car, but I pulled it out, and like, I was like, you guys can have all this, and like, out of like maybe 30 homeless people or 20 homeless people, like 2 came up and like rummaged through, and like maybe grabbed a couple sodas and left the food, and I was just like,
Jesus.
I was like, God, am I becoming a Candace Owens? Am I becoming a Karen Candace Owens?
Yeah.
I was like, fuck y'all. Like, I could have taken this home, you know what I mean? Like, give it to my friends or something. But.
Well, like I used to, my old job, I know a lot of social workers from my old job. We used to work with kids that would cross the border and get caught, and then kids from like Guatemala and San Salvador and Mexico, mostly Guatemala and Honduras actually. And they would come here after, going through a long journey from coming up through Central America, having to cross like Guatemala's border, Mexico's border, and then crossing our border, eventually getting caught. And there's kind of a loophole in the system where it's like if you're under 21, you can't be immediately deported. So
They wait till you're 21?
If you're under 18, you can't be deported because you're still considered a minor.
Oh.
So,
I said 21, that'd be terrible.
yeah.
You're about to get a beer, and they're like,
Yeah.
back home, amigo.
So a lot of these kids were just here, and they had like an uncle or a parent or somebody here, and then they would be assigned a caseworker, and they'd be able to meet up with that family member, and then like they would give them an alien number and stuff like that. But they would be able to be here legally. I don't know for how long. I mean, obviously they're going to have to deal with the system because they have an A number.
Yeah.
But they would be just so grateful for everything, and they would get 3 meals a day. They had class. They got clothes, shelter. I mean, some of these kids, they had to be like quite a few of them in one room, but they never complained or gave a shit.
No.
And
yeah.
A lot of people that I used to work with there, everybody kind of got fatigue after a while because you're dealing with so much trauma all the time.
Right.
A lot of people left kind of wanting to try something new, and they started working at New Avenues, which is like a business here in downtown Portland, or a nonprofit in downtown Portland that helps homeless youth. And they just said it was just so like the entitlement that even like
these
American
like runaway
kids
like
have,
from their parents kind of shit. Yeah.
I think they know that there's all these programs, government programs that they can go to that will help them. Whereas like in Central America, like you don't have any of that shit.
Yeah.
Your safety net is your family. You don't have
that's
anything
it.
else. Or there's
Your
no
community,
government. Your community or your family. There's no
Yeah.
like government aid in any way. So these kids are like demanding cell phones. They're like, oh, I don't want that cell phone. I want the next one. Stuff like that. All my friends that are working there who used to work at the last place are just like kind of infuriated by it. Even though these kids have it hard, it's like you're almost just like, Jesus, like the entitlement of the
like
American.
Right. It's almost like I don't know. Well, it's like they knew that they were gonna run away and everything would still be fine, right? You know what I mean? So it's kind of like you didn't have a reason not to, as opposed to these kids that you were working with, where it's like they're running away because they're like
no choice, either load a cement truck for the rest of your life or go try to like get a job that you don't have to break your back to do and has some sort of upward mobility.
Right.
So that's just that was an interesting thing that they shared with me, where I was like, God, like you could see it on the street too. It's like in Mexico, if someone's gonna ask for money from you, they're always gonna provide a service. It's like we're gonna clean your windshield, or we're gonna juggle while riding a unicycle in front of your car at a stop sign, or like
I mean, were we
Whereas-
talking about that earlier about the homeless thing in Texas or no? I was talking to the homie a little bit ago, and he was telling me about how he was in Austin and spends a lot of time down there, and they have their homeless issue as well.
Mm-hmm.
But he was like, the homeless people there are so much more polite. He's like, on the West Coast, it's almost like it's like a
Fuck
like
you,
saying,
pay
it's
me.
an entitlement, but it's like a demanding. Like they'll just be like, "Yo, can I get some money?" Where it's like they'll be like, "Hey, sir, like I know like you may not want to do this, and like I'm not trying to inconvenience you, but like I'm just down on my luck." And it's like, if everyone had that kind of mentality towards it, I think I would be more empathetic towards it. But also, this is Oregon, this ain't Texas, where everybody has a fucking smack on them. So if you're homeless asking around, you better ask politely now.
you better ask
You
nice.
better ask politely now.
Cause hell.
For this is the last belt buckle you see.
See the last belt buckle you'll see. God, that's good.
Yeah, that's bad.
I was climbing into my car yesterday, and this houseless dude in a wheelchair he was busking. He wasn't busking. He was just begging out in front of the
Are
QFC.
you riding with that? Houseless? Am I bad guy if I don't go?
I'm sure there's a
homeless?
lot of bad takes I've already had in this that I can get like
We going
read for. But
Okay,
I'm just
'cause-
kind of giving my lived experience. I don't do a lot of book reading about the subject. But I was getting into my car, and this guy, he goes, "Hey, sir, you got any change for me?" And I was like, "No, I didn't have any change." And he was like, "How about you check the console in your car? There's always change in there." And it was like, God, he's just really like overstepping his bounds. And I had like a couple pennies in there, and I was like, a couple pennies and a couple dimes, and I went over.
Here's the 3 pennies in my console.
I went over and gave it to him, and he was grateful for that. And I was like, I can respect you being grateful for that. Because some people, if you don't give them enough, they're like, I don't like to pull out my wallet because they're looking like, oh, you got a little bit more in there?
The digging, though. The
It's
digging
like,
into
it's just
it.
kinda
That's
like,
where
you know,
kinda
I mean,
go.
I gave you some money.
At least you got to do it like Atlanta. At least the poor people out there are selling candy, selling water.
Mhm, they're doing that in San
You know what
Francisco,
I'm saying?
too, I've
Like,
seen.
At least I'm getting something out of it. But yeah. And
But sorry to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
But I think kind of to tie up, put the pretty bow on this, it's just like,
Is that
you
Dane
know,
cares? Dane cares.
everybody's trying to blame somebody for, it's this or that, or like, the mayor needs to do something. And it's like, if I was the mayor, I wouldn't know what to do. We're dealing with the horrors of late stage capitalism. Like, we've been on a path to this direction for a long time. So I feel like the solution, there's no like simple solution that we can.
No, there's not a simple solution.
Like one mayor can be tough on it. I mean, we should have got what's her name, clean up that.
The black woman.
No, the woman that we were joking about for winning mayor. And she had that
which one?
ad with all the tents.
Oh God, I forget her name. There was a council lady.
Oh,
she
our
was running.
fans are gonna be pissed. I
She-
forgot.
Sorry, y'all.
I
Sorry.
can't think of another name.
No, we can't remember her name. But there was a lady. Look
Governor?
Up. No, she was running for mayor. She's a white lady. She's partnered. She partners with Mingus Maps a lot.
What is it?
Oh,
It's a race.
It's a race now. Come on, put us through here.
She was that nice conservative lady that wanted to clean up.
Oh,
she wanted to clean it up.
Wait, no. You're talking about. Are you talking about
Governor?
Nancy Mays?
No.
Nancy Mays though. That's a woman. God damn it. That's a conservative queen right there.
Yeah.
That is a GOP goddess.
That's a
right
woman
there.
who knows how to spend the morning.
You know what I'm saying?
You're not talking Betsy?
No, I'm talking Nancy Mays. She's the congresswoman that said that she skipped out on morning sex with her boyfriend to go make prayer.
Oh, yeah.
So that means that she's a real true conservative. But her goddamn constituents are gonna slander her as a religious woman for having premarital sex.
No, listen, brother. They damn near threw her under the bus for that.
Now they damn near castigated this woman.
Cascaded?
Cascade. I mean, she's got me cascading. But I mean, you know, they ripped her apart. I think it's hilarious. She's like what the conservative party would want is like a tough on issues, like kind of like strong woman. You know what I mean? Who
I
like,
wish the headline was, woman denied morning sex for the 450th time in a row before she went to Sunday service. And then I would have said, well, how many weeks have they been together?
And then the follow-up headline is divorce.
I'm telling you, I mean, you got to be tough on crime. You got to be tough on premarital sex. And you got to be tough on just about anything that's going to get in the way.
That's true. That's true. Before they find her husband with a Thai lady boy in a brothel, which could happen. That's what they do down there.
Ooh, boy.
Boy, I tell you.
I
tell you.
I bet you the amount of transphobic, homophobic men who've gone down to Thailand trying to get with some underage girls that have found themselves having relations with a lady boy and that have just had total internal meltdowns. It's probably just the astronomical number.
Yeah. I mean, I wonder how many of them that's where they go, not even to try to get with a girl. That's just where they're like, I like me a young Asian boy. That's where I'm going to get, that's where I'm going to get them.
And that's where I'm going to get it.
That's where I'm going to find them. Ain't nobody going to see it.
Yeah, if that's where you're going to find them. That's for
gonna
sure.
See it, and I'm going to just come home like ain't nothing happened.
Damn, I've seen videos, like travel vlog videos or of like people from Thailand that just film these fat fucking white guys just walking down the streets of Thailand. And it's like, you just know.
Passport bros.
You know when you see one. And it's like, they're like, there goes another one. We know what he's here for. He's by himself in the middle of the prostitution district of Thailand, just walking around looking like an oaf.
Yeah, and it's always fat English dudes like, hello.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, yeah.
Mind if I have a spot of pussy?
Spot just a wee bit of pussy.
Spot of chewy?
Just a wee bit. I was watching this fucking disgusting video about London right after World War II, and they're talking about how they just had this business was going, or this restaurant was going out of business, and what they served was this thing called jellied eels.
Ooh.
Can you pull that up so you can get a visual here? Get a visual here going.
Yeah, can I get a visual?
Just look up the jellied eels.
Watch your feet.
Just so you can see. Yeah, watch your feet. What's your tootsies? Anyways, they was eating jellied eels, and that's what they said in the video.
So what the?
So basically, the thing was about that there was a staple of East London. This is so disgusting.
Oh God, those look horrible.
It was.
Are
jellied,
they like gelatin? Kind of by the time.
like a gelatin eel.
It looked
that
like
they were.
It's
It's disgusting.
See that?
And we'll put that up so the fans at home and the fans in Europe know. Well, the fans in London,
They're
fucking
just like
know already.
translucent white, and
It's just nasty.
I
But
bet
gorgeous.
it's a nice creamy flavor.
Yeah.
To
But the
It looks
guy
good.
was saying, he was like, well, a lot of the consumption of the eels has drove the population down. So now they had to outsource the eels. So then the amount
Wait,
of
what?
they'd outsource.
People were eating too much
People were
eels?
eating too many jellied eels, so they had to outsource where they were getting the eels from. And this is like we're talking
Oh,
like
because there weren't as many eels because they were eating them all.
they were eating them all. They were fishing them all out of the
Eating them
Thames,
all.
which is disgusting.
What is it, Tem?
The Thames is the river that flows through London,
Oh,
which is a disgusting
just
river
rotten.
that's been polluted since fucking 1200.
Since Roman times.
Yeah, since the Roman times, literally. And so they had eaten so many of these eels that they started to they started to like outsource eels, and they were bringing in more eels
Because it was such a delicacy.
It was such a delicacy,
How
and
many times can you say eels?
eels. And then the guy was like, he's like, I also think the population of East End of London has gone down because jellied eels are
Eels.
what's it called? They're an aphrodisiac. So now we stop selling them. The population's gone down. And I'm like, that's disgusting. All these people in the East End of London are just eating jellied eels and having
Just
sex
getting
with their
torqued up.
with their disgusting eel breath.
I'd like to have a nice, like, sloshy bowl of eels and oysters and just shove them,
God.
slurp them down before
Bro,
I go downtown on my wife.
the
Do you think it's a chemical?
what?
Like
the British
there's
like
a chemical.
bad food?
There's actually a chemical that makes an aphrodisiac, or is it just the texture
I think it
that
has to
kind of
do with
gets
the
you?
slime.
Yeah,
I think
kind
it's a
of
slime.
gets
How-
you in that flow state.
It's not guys. A lot of people thinking they've got other people's cum in their mouth.
When
they're like, this is gonna get me horny.
What? Wait, what?
Wait, you're gonna get into
You
that.
explain
No,
that.
I'm saying, I'm thinking
When
like
people have cum in their mouth?
No, they eat an aphrodisiac, like you're saying, that has this strange texture that is probably similar
Have
to
a spoonful of
to
semen.
like sexual fluid, and then they're like, ooh, they're like, I'm feeling it. You know
Have
what
a
I mean?
spoonful of semen.
Yeah.
And release the demon.
A spoonful
Exactly.
of semen. What's that, Mary Poppins? A spoonful of semen keeps
A
the demons
spoonful of
away.
semen keeps the medicine down.
A spoonful of semen makes the medicine go down.
Makes the medicine go down. Makes the medicine go
What the
down.
fuck are you doing with your mic? Fucking boxing?
I'm over slapping it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm practicing for Jake
Yeah,
Paul.
practicing for
I'm
KSI.
practicing for Jake Paul, KSI, all of them. All the podcaster bros.
I would love to see.
Is there any
Jake
food
Paul
like
get his
cum?
face
What's the
smashed
most
in.
cum-like food?
Oyster, of course.
No, that's not cum.
God,
that's,
it's a
that's
bad
not cum.
British accent. You know, sometimes it comes and sometimes it goes.
That's just you're wrong.
Just bloody out of my gourd right now.
No, yeah, I would say maybe like a borscht, some kind of Russian thing. Or like
What's a what's,
you never know what borscht is? Never had it. Looks nasty as fuck.
I'd say dead
Wouldn't
rat.
eat it. A dead rat?
A nice dead rat.
you guys
Dead
just,
rat,
I
yeah,
don't think you
that's
guys
true.
listened, but
You know, I kind of bring that up, you know, half jokingly, but
good segue.
the other morning I went downstairs. I did a big clean out of my house, my beautiful Portland home, and I went down in the basement and and I saw one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. This is just unbelievable. Talk about keep Portland weird, because this was weird sauce.
Weird with a capital W.
Yeah, this is weird with a cap.
We're not talking George.
This with a cap on it, no cap. Run that back one more
Yeah,
time.
this is a bottom of the barrel moment for both y'all.
Yeah, that was bad.
No, I like it. I thought that was good.
Can we cut that?
So
All
you
right.
found a disgusting rat. How
Yeah.
plump was this thing? How we talking
No,
Ratatouille
no.
size?
This
What are we
thing-
talking here?
No.
Talking 6'9"?
I'm talking Ratatouille's little brother, big brother, dirty
Big
brother,
brother.
the one who ate all the trash.
Middle school John.
So that's just
That's just
we
plain
don't
disrespectful.
bring
man.
that up.
That's just plain disrespectful.
Look at the guy now; he's working
Yeah.
hard every day just to get away from that.
Yeah,
Man.
he'd
Bring
fold
that
you into a
up.
pretzel.
He's a
for
good-
coming
yeah,
up
yeah.
with
You're
that.
lucky.
Hey, he's a good
You're-
athlete.
Yeah, you better
Wait,
watch
he's
out.
gonna bend you over that
Yeah.
picnic table over there and make you wish
Uh-huh.
you were
I
never
heard he was a
born.
good athlete.
He'll make you put on makeup.
But Silence of the Lamb, that hair on your body.
Violence of the Lamb.
Jesus. The violence of the lambs.
Is that what you just said?
But long story short, I kind of had a weird smell in the house. Say probably last October. And then, but it was cold, so the smell wasn't too bad. I was wondering, I wonder if something died under the house.
And this is something you've been
And then
smelling since October.
come spring, maybe it was, I might have my timetables off, but come spring, the house is full of black
Timetable?
flies.
That's-
And I'm wondering, where the hell is this coming from? And then come midsummer cleaning, I was down there cleaning out the basement. This is a place that is not touched much, hasn't been touched since the early 1800s. My house was built in 1883. So I go down there,
Like
and
my ex-wife.
I kind of get under and behind stuff, and I take 1,000 pounds of shit to the dump, just old doors and cabinets and who you name it. And I look over and I see this rat perfectly pinned under a paint can. So, like, what are the chances of this, right?
We're talking like a WWF style, like
Yeah.
like
It was like from the top rope right through this
Undertaker.
rat's neck, and I didn't take a picture. I'm so disappointed in myself that I
course.
didn't take a picture. But I promise I'm not lying on Jesus Christ.
You gotta respect the dead, you know. That's someone's burial ground.
And I don't respect anyone more than Jesus.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll tell you that right
as
now.
you shouldn't. Well,
No.
Allahu Akbar.
No ifs, ands, or buts on that one,
So
buddy.
do you think people aren't going to believe that a rat died in your
No, but
140-year-old
think
basement?
about what are the chances of this. A can falls. First off, paint cans don't just fall.
Okay.
And it was right side up. And it was on the neck of this rat.
So you think it perfectly fell, crushed his neck?
I'm thinking maybe there was like the only thing I can come up with is, I mean, if we're not going to get into the fantastical and it was a ghost, the other rats were skittering around up above and they somehow managed, I mean, rats are nimble. I couldn't imagine them knocking a paint can over. Knocked a paint can up from the shelf that fell and it landed right side up, right on the guillotine to this rat's neck, right? And he's just under there, plastered on the ground. And then next to him and all around him is just a bunch of rat shit everywhere.
Oh, that was a hit.
And
that
I was thinking
that was a mafia hit.
It went
They took him out. It took
right
out
out the
Fat
back.
Tony Salerno.
But my-
they had been plotting on him for a while. They caught him slipping, coming out of the cheddar hole.
Yeah.
Took him down.
He's coming out, had some nice white cheddar on his breath, and they took him out.
He owned Chuck E. Cheese, a few
Yeah,
wheels of Gouda.
A few knot holes over, he had a nice Chuck E. Cheese and a couple of thick wheels of Gouda.
Owed him a few wheels of Gouda. He said, "I'm gonna take care of this for you, huh?"
Yeah, you
Just
talk
put
to him
him there
real nice.
time, huh?
Talk to him nice and get you a clump of goat.
We're gonna make sure he's got a painting that he loves.
He's stroking his long whiskers.
Yes.
But my suegro, my father-in-law, the Don, as we call him,
Got hefty.
he was down there and he goes, "Oh, I've seen this before." And I was like, the paint can part, and he was like, "No, you see all that shit?" And I was like, "Yeah, there's a lot of shit over there." And he was like, "You see what happened was that rat died, got filled with all the larvae of all the flies that were gonna come to life out of it, and all the other rats came to feast on that larva, and then they just shit all around him."
Ooh,
It was a scene down there.
that got dark quickly. Jesus Christ.
The thing that these rats will do. I
So
mean,
this
you
is
know
more like a Tim
better
Burton.
than anyone about that rat and the cream.
We do it to each other.
What? Feast on each other's larvae?
Hey,
I don't know. That sounds a little
Hey,
sus to me.
I'd say,
we
you
had
know,
to.
if it's gonna be me or you, bro,
I'm going with
I know
Chuck's.
what I'm doing.
Yeah.
hey.
Yeah. No, that's actually wild. So it was more like it was like a Tim Burton movie. So did you feel
It was like a John Waters film.
Did you feel like a detective, like a LA noir detective? You had to crack the case. You know,
Yeah, I
like,
did feel a little
Like,
forensic
how'd
down
this
there.
little fat fucker die?
I felt a little
What did he
forensic
do?
down there for sure.
That's always fun. Cracking cases is fun.
Yeah, doing it with my suegro too. I couldn't have pictured a better man to
It was a
do that.
bonding moment for you guys.
Yeah, he said, "You know what? Not so mad that you're married to my daughter anymore."
He's like, I'm not so mad that
I'm not-
a lot of your friends have called me way before.
Yeah. It's one thing that you never call an elder.
You never call an elder that.
You
That's
never
true.
call them way.
Some I learned. Learned that the hard way, and that's all right though.
Yeah.
The hard way.
The hard way.
Boo!
Oh, clip it, mark it, baby.
What's up with that beanie?
What's on my beanie?
Yeah, I don't get it.
Dude.
I don't like it.
I went to war. I joined the Air
No,
Force.
no,
Came
what the-
back.
Dude, yeah.
Does
you're
it
lucky.
work? Does it work?
No, it doesn't work. Jesus Christ! Look,
Oh,
you've
what's
got,
it for?
You've got glasses on your head as well, so you got nothing to say. All right? Oh yeah. It's
No.
so
Where do
dark
your
in
glasses
here.
go though? How the fuck do you use yours?
Well, I flip
Oh,
them down.
use your head. How do glasses
Yeah,
work?
they go over
what
your
do you
eyes,
do? Put them
duh.
over your eyes.
Let's
Duh.
see. Let's see.
No,
We're not doing that on
I'm
the.
not doing that
Fuck
for you.
you.
For your satisfaction. I just won't do it. No, I'll
Alright.
do it one time here.
Let's mute him.
Here's.
I'm curious.
Here we
how
go,
the-
here we
Can
go.
you see all the way through
Here
those?
we go. Useless fashion accessories, part 1.
Oh my god! If you ever wear those like that.
Can you see me on a
Yeah, you look like
on a motorbike,
yeah.
like with a long scarf?
You look like Frozone from The Incredibles.
That's okay. That was racist.
It's not. He's
I'm
kind
outta
of.
here.
He's not wrong. It's kind of
We'll
accurate.
pull that up. We'll pull that.
Frozen
It's gonna
was
be
cool.
right. Frozen's gonna
That's-
be right
that's
here.
cool. I wanted to be like Frozone anyway. That's fine. I'll be Frozone. That's okay. That's fine.
That's cool.
do you
Work through
think,
it.
That's fine.
Work
I'll
through
be
it.
Frozone.
That's
Just
cool.
fine with me.
Is
okay.
that fine with you?
Wear
That's
Frozone
fine, yeah.
beanies
What
every
was-
week, and you'll
what
I
would
be
Dr.
Frozone.
really
Umar say?
wanted to be Mr. Incredible, but
What
Well,
would
he's
Dr.
white.
Umar say
well,
about
I'm not
that?
blonde, right? So
Nope.
doesn't work.
Never will.
Yeah, someone call Dr. Umar. I need a little bit of assistance.
I think you
here.
need a little bit like some counsel on that
Gee,
God damn.
one. You need some counsel on that one because it was a gray area.
Yeah, that's true.
Not talking about your cap either.
That's true.
So
No cap.
I think there's something that should be mentioned. It's a little bit embarrassing for Aidan, but he almost lost his life last week, and
Oh yeah.
I just think we should
Damn,
touch
what are
on
we
it.
at? Are we at an hour?
We're at an hour.
We're at an hour.
I think we should touch on it.
I'll tell the story.
Well, they even fucking tells it's me.
Aiden doesn't want to tell.
I say
I
we
don't,
touch
but it's
on
alright.
it.
I'll tell it.
We can.
So
cut
your
it.
boy, got a little tuned up and almost turned into a s'mores. Almost probably turned into a s'mores or like a piece of charcoal. So we had a
You're
little.
almost like a roasted duck down there.
Yeah, it was almost like it was bad. So we were all hanging out, couple of the guys, chilling, And
Look at him. He hates telling the story.
yeah, we had a night out, and I got back to the house,
It's
and
getting serious now.
I was real. Yeah, I was real.
Yeah,
I was really hungry. I was
yeah,
starving. I had this hankering. I was like, I gotta eat something. I gotta put something in the stomach. So got to cooking. So I got all these fresh olives that I just bought. I got out these green tomatoes.
What are you using
I got
heat
out a
for all those olives?
salad.
Dude, I heard it was 2 eggs.
No, I'm kidding. It was definitely 2 eggs. No, I cooked 2 eggs and I ate them and then just didn't turn off the stove and passed out. And the spatula that I had left laying on top of the pan, it caught on fire. And so we had a little bit of a Rasta smoky vibe situation.
Yeah.
Bad vibe.
vibes down
Bad
there, bro.
vibe.
Bad vibes.
But, nothing happened. And my roommate, Dane's brother, he woke me up, had to slap me a couple times. And I didn't really get up, but it was okay. And we was able to turn off the stove. And there was it wasn't a huge fire. And
We were lucky. You were lucky
good.
that you had the windows open and the fan
did,
on,
yeah.
because you could have been dead.
Yeah, I could have probably died from asphyxiation. What's the word? Right?
That's like when you put on too much Axe and head to the middle school dance.
Yeah, when you go to your homecoming
You
dance.
get it behind a girl
After a
and then she
football
over here
practice.
damn near
Yeah.
passes out when she gets the smell of that.
Yeah.
You're sopping wet.
Would have been
Sweat
great for the
and
numbers, though.
Yeah, it would have been good for the pod. The fans in Europe would have loved it.
Well, we would have blown up even more that first week if you would have passed away with.
it would have kind of
with
been like
Pee Wee Herman
a
and-
what's that called when an artist puts out an album after they die?
Posthumous.
Posthumous. It would have been like a posthumous Biggie kind of vibe, or it would have just
And
blown the pod up.
Eastern Europe and Eurasia.
Yeah, because they love it over there.
Dude, your face would have been on flag flying down the streets.
Oh, you're goddamn right. I'd have been on every communist coin in that country.
I'd be in that chair right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he might have been able to be in that chair. We'd have to run some interviews.
Well, fucking, you guys are goddamn lucky that I didn't die then. Only asphyxiation that I need is autoerotic.
Yeah, blow that Batman seed. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Get a
Blow
little
that-
choke. A little choke.
Yeah.
Oh.
Choky.
Chucky.
All right, boys, it's been a good pod. Are we out of here? I think we're good.
Yeah, now we put him through that awful mission. I hope you hold me to it if I make it.
I will.
I will. On the pod.
I will.
And also, you got to make sure that you tell your friends that you love them. I love you, bud. You could have
That's
died.
true. I love you too, bud.
I don't really pains me to say.
All right.
That's true.
Like, comment,
subscribe.
subscribe.
Comment.
Instagram.
Subscribe.
Neckjuice. We're just a couple of guys. Just
Instagram,
just trying to make
Neckjuice Podcast.
Just trying to
Instagram,
make
Neckjuice
content,
Podcast. TikTok, Neckjuice Podcast. Everything Neckjuice Podcast. Every single Wednesday. You know what we do. You got anything else, baby?
I'd say if it ain't necking, then what the heckin'?
If ain't necking, it's sexy.
What the heck is it, bro?
Leave.